edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, the nation's leader accompanying the president of Guyana on a state visit to Grand Bahama today. The two influential men, along with a delegation, toured the island, but made their first stop at a local primary school where a tree planting ceremony took place. Arriving on Grand Bahama Friday morning was the Right Honorable Perry Christie, along with His Excellency David Granger, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, amongst a large delegation of ministers and other government officials. The first stop was at the Hugh Campbell Primary School, where the group was met with a rousing round of applause. The nation's leader, while addressing the staff and students, noted that he brought the leader of Guyana to Grand Bahama to show him the diversity of this country.
We have been able to inform President Granger that this island is the industrial capital of the Bahamas. This is an island where you have all sorts of businesses like oil storage companies, like pharmaceutical companies. And all of this is to ensure that when you grow up, you're going to be able to have good jobs.
Christie also shared how the island has been significantly impacted by Hurricane Matthew, yet the people remain resilient.
So I've come to say to the President, historically, we have come to an island that has suffered many, many significant blows as a result of these natural disasters. And it has always pulled itself through. Finally, it is an island in our Commonwealth that we must look to play an even stronger role in the economy of our country.
And of course, in true Christie style, the nation's leader took the opportunity to also show off the Bahamian culture to the leader of Guyana during a special musical presentation by the students. Many educators from Guyana attended the ceremony, and President Granger noted that he was impressed by the level of hospitality.
Today, I'm very happy to be here. I'd like to say thank you very much to the Right Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie for bringing me here. I would like to congratulate him and his government for what he's been doing, not only for the Bahamas, but also for the entire Caribbean. The Bahamas has an outstanding record in terms of its financial services, the growth of the economy, in tourism, and of course, the friendship it has demonstrated to Guyanese professionals and to the rest of the Caribbean, showing solidarity with us in time of need.
Before leaving, the president of Guyana planted a tree and vowed to the students that one will be sent every year from Guyana to signify the bond between the two countries. Well, the nation's leader, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, and President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana were also taken on a tour of the industrial parks on Grand Bahama. The first stop was the Freeport container port, and then it was on to the Grand Bahama shipyard. Christie told the Guyanese president that there was a challenge to integrate industry and then create opportunities for Bahamians to be a part of that development.
We had a situation where we would come here annually and watch the company exhibit training programs, and youngsters who had been trained in different forms of apprenticeship training, different academic levels, and we were very impressed. I said to them, well, if you can do this for 12 a year, what happens if, as a government, I give you the resources to add a further 12? The Minister for Employment and the Minister for Grand Bahama and the Minister for Immigration, Minister Mitchell, sat with the company, and we came up with a magnificent development that I want to thank the owners of the cruise line, the Grand Bahama Port Authority. They agreed to facilitate replacing 200 expatriate workers each year for 3 years.
He noted that the government also made the decision to make a $2 million a year contribution and to have that matched so that local Bahamians can be trained at the largest and best cruise ship repair facility in the world. President Granger believes that this trip to Grand Bahama was a learning experience.
The former owner of Carnival, Ted Allison, was a great friend of the Bahamas. And many, many years ago when I met him, he demonstrated that. His son Mickey Harrison, who succeeded him, continued with that friendship in all sorts of magnificent ways. And they owned hotel properties here at one stage, and they just recently made a commitment to develop a new $200 million cruise port facility here on this island. And that in itself is such an extraordinary, defining investment from them.
So this is an important lesson for us in Guyana and for the other states in the Caribbean community. We are all affected by the unemployment of young people. Many of us started off as basically plantation economies. Most of the population were brought from other continents to work in agricultural industries, but we are forced by globalization to transform. And this is this example of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas shows how the transformation to a modern economy could take place within the global economy.
Now, the visit ended with a delegation attending the Bahamas National High School Championships, followed by a luncheon. And as the saying goes, better late than never, this Friday morning, students on Grand Bahama were finally treated to a float parade organized by the Grand Bahama Majority Rule Day Committee in conjunction with Bahamas Air. Co-chairman Cecil Thompson says that all airlines and mailboat companies were invited to take part back in January, but it was only the nation's flag carrier that did.
They were the first and only airline to respond, and once Mr. Roll told me that they were in, we determined a date, and this entry is more magnificent than the entry of 2013. But what we want to do as a committee, we wanted to dedicate Bahamas Air Float Parade to the students of Grand Bahama because of the pivotal role Bahamas Air would have played in our national development, but more importantly, the educational component.
Bahamas Air Station Manager Antonio Roll says that they are pleased to be a part of this historic celebration. He says that the airline has a rich history that they are happy to share with the students. Aviation Safety Inspector Anthony Bain is also an avid junkaneur and designed and constructed the model aircraft. He says the project took about 2 weeks.
It's a learning experience for the kids because at Bahamas Air, it's an entity where if you study and stay in school, you can become an engineer, you can become a pilot, or you can become whatever you want to be. But there are plenty viable meanings where you can work in Bahamas Air if you choose so. Knowing that Bahamas Air is one of the entities that came out of majority rule, and Bahamas Air started in June of 1973. The first place Bahamas Air went was to Andres, and the second flight was to Freeport, Grand Bahama.
It's kind of like a baby for me because I have technical responsibility for the ATR fleet for Bahamas Air, and I was the person I went to France to bring them here. So I'm thankful that I had an opportunity to do a creation of something that I know it is very dear to me.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.